In this half hour with breaking news out of Garden Grove, both sides of the 22 freeway near the 405 connector are shut down. That's where a big rig caught fire and one person was killed after a crash there. Joy Benedict is live in Garden Grove, where you can still see some of that wreckage on the roadway. Joy.
Yeah, it really is a really big mess out here, Amy, and one that's going to take hours to clean up. So folks that are heading out in this area, you need to understand that you cannot use the 22 freeway in both directions here in Garden Grove. But take a look at the scene behind us. They're sort of keeping us a little ways back as they are still investigating the deadly crash, as well as trying to clean up or figure out how to clean up. But what you see here is a Honda right in front of me. Beyond that is what's left of that semi-truck that was carrying mail for the U.S. Postal Service. A lot of that mail is scattered here on both sides of the freeway as they try and figure out what happened. But take a look at this video. It was a fiery crash, and it was hard to miss out here on the 22 freeway just before 4 o'clock this morning. But investigators tell me that that was actually the second crash that happened out here this morning. They say the first crash was actually with that Honda all by itself. They believe a 26-year-old driver from Irvine was heading eastbound on the 22 freeway when, for whatever reason, he lost control and got in a single car crash over here on the right-hand side of the shoulder. There was a spin out. That car ended up facing in the opposite direction in the number 3 lane. The driver got out on his own and walked over to the shoulder. And while that driver was standing there, that's when the investigators believe that the driver of that semi-truck came eastbound on the 22 freeway, maybe not seeing or trying to maneuver, but ended up hitting that disabled vehicle on the number 3 lane. The impact threw the driver of the semi-truck into the median, flipping the car, and it caught fire. The driver of that tractor trailer died here during this collision. We are told that he was a contractor carrying mail for the United States Postal Service. But take a look at this video. This is a short time later as investigators are now arresting that 26-year-old driver of the Honda. We're told that 26-year-old was from Irvine. He was taken into custody on suspicion of DUI. So even though he didn't hit that tractor trailer driver intentionally, obviously they believe that his crash and his choices ended up causing the death of that driver. Now, talking to the CHP, they say this is just a reminder for everyone.
It's again another reminder to everyone in the motoring public that you want to make sure you're not impaired while you're operating a vehicle. It endangers everyone else on the roadway as well as that driver themselves.
Now, as for what happens right now, well, this is going to be a very long cleanup, we are told. Not only do they have to investigate the crash, but they have to clean up the diesel fuel that's out here on the freeway and then, of course, get this debris closed. So they do expect both sides of the 22 freeway, Amy, to remain closed for several hours, probably into the afternoon.